Retro Horror back for a review here for an underrated classic gem from 1983. Probably a film that when you mention Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro, you would never think of. Or if you've thought of it, you probably haven't seen it in a long time. And that is The King of Comedy. This is an underrated gem of a movie that was made in 81, right after Raging Bull. It was at a time when Scorsese was going to do The Last Temptation of Christ, and he wanted to cast Robert De Niro in the role, but Robert De Niro didn't want to do it. He wanted to do a comedy, and this is what we got, essentially. And it's really not a comedy, in my opinion. It's more of a character study. It's a dark comedy, but it's more of a character study of a guy that wants to be a stand-up comedian, Rupert Pupkin, played by Robert De Niro, and he is obsessed with and stalking Jerry Lewis, the famous comedian Jerry Lewis, who was a talk show host and a la Johnny Carson. In fact, I think De Niro, originally they had offered the role to Johnny Carson, but he chose not to do it. But anyway, Rupert Pupkin is obsessed with Jerry Lewis and being friends with Jerry Lewis, and on his talk show, the Jerry Langford Show. And he's socially awkward, really probably pathological. He's just kind of a nutcase, and he's stalking Jerry Lewis, and he's got this fantasy that he's actually a really good comedian that hasn't been discovered yet, and he deserves to be on this TV show, and he's going to do whatever it takes to become famous. The movie is it's such a role reversal for all the typical actors in it. Robert De Niro, you would never see him in this kind of a socially awkward, geekish kind of role. And then Jerry Lewis is, unlike his normal role as a comedian, plays a straight up, really stressed out TV star, TV talk show host star. He's burnt out, he's stressed, and so they've kind of a role reversal here for all these guys, but both of them stretch their acting abilities. If you kind of wondered what the range of Robert De Niro is from an acting perspective, and Jerry Lewis, you get the feel for it here with this film, because it's excellent, and these guys are tremendous in this film. The film also stars Sandra Bernhard, the comedian Sandra Bernhard. She's Rupert Pupkin, or Robert De Niro's buddy. She's more psychotic than he is. She's obsessed with sleeping with Jerry Lewis, whatever it takes, and she has all these fantasies about having dinner with him and being part of his life. The film kind of focuses on the socially awkward situations, and they are funny. If you enjoy watching people be in socially awkward situations, that can be funny, but it's not. I don't think it's intended to be funny. I think it's more just a character study and a social commentary on some things that really in 1981 to 83 probably didn't resonate with people, but they do resonate today. And I think that's why the film, when it came out in 83, was a flop, a box office flop. It came at a time when people didn't know what kind of an angle was this film pursuing. But it's prescient today because, you have the advent of all the social media, the explosion of social media avenues, like things like Twitter, where you can get even closer to entertainers and actors and get really delve further into their lives to the point where you almost are living their life alongside of them. I'll say Kim Kardashian, with the Bravo channel and her TV show and her Twitter page and all that. You've got people that can fantasize and live their life through entertainers. And that's really what the film was trying to talk about, was the explosion of our culture and how our culture can be obsessed with, to the point of being a detriment, entertainers and the entertainment industry, and how both sides are negatively impacted by that. I mean, Jerry Lewis, as Jerry Langford, his life is a living hell. He can't answer the phone. He can't walk down the street. He's stressed. He's burnt out, and he's got all these people that are grabbing at him and want to be part of his life constantly. And then you've got the stalkers like Rupert Pupkin or Robert De Niro, who have this fantasy, or living out a fantasy because their own life is shit, and they're trying to live a better life vicariously through the entertainment industry. Great movie, fantastic, underrated film, and one that probably one of Martin Scorsese's best movies, and Robert De Niro's one of his best movies. I mean, obviously those two as a combo have made some incredible movies like Deer Hunter and Raging Bull and things like that. But I think this film ranks right up there as one of the top for that director and for the actor. So I highly recommend this. If you haven't seen it, go out and get yourself a copy of The King of Comedy. The special features on here, there's a making of, little short documentary, and then there's a 30-minute interview at a film festival with Jerry Lewis, Robert De Niro, and Martin Scorsese, where they're interviewed and talked about the making of the film. Great stuff. 9 out of 10. The King of Comedy. So go and get you a copy of that. All right. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.